Today's Morning First Alert Weather Show is brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law.
Happy Wednesday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 10:30 a.m. First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look across mid-Michigan with snow chances developing this morning and some more First Alert weather days as we get into Thursday and Friday. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There, I'll try to answer any of the questions that you may have. I do apologize if I miss your question, though. Sometimes I don't always get the chance to look over at our chat. We're going to start off today looking at a few of our cameras. The first camera looking at right now, this is our Flint Vehicle City Harley-Davidson cam there. Just looking at snowfall. Roads were a little more snow covered this morning. I think travel, maybe some road crews traveling through have helped things improve, but traffic still probably a little bit slower than normal. So just got to be careful with that as we get here over the next couple of hours. We look a little bit farther to the north. This is Birch Run camera. That shows a very similar outlook. Snow-covered roads trying to develop, snow continuing to fall here. And again, that's just a trend we're seeing everywhere. Even farther north, US 10 there showing that snowfall traffic moving probably a little bit slower than a typical Wednesday morning. It's just been one of those mornings across the state where you are seeing that snowfall continue to have impacts, at least on travel. The one nice thing is temperatures are a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing, what we will see, and so hopefully that continues to be a trend for today. So road crews, when they do put out salt and other items, that helps get rid of some of that sitting snow. Now looking at our sky tracker, it does continue to show us widespread pretty light but widespread snow, maybe becoming more consistent, especially from areas like Saginaw down 75 to Flint, and even Saginaw as you get up to 52 down to Owasso. That looks to be the area that has the most consistent, maybe heaviest snowfall right now. A good sign though is it is really starting to line up with where we're going to see it move out, the northwest, seeing clear conditions, and now even northern 127 north of Mount Pleasant also starting to show signs that that snow is moving out here as we get halfway through the 10 o'clock hour. But because of that, the National Weather Service did issue a winter weather advisory for counties, really where we're seeing that snowfall. That is up until 1 p.m. this afternoon. That is for 1 to 3 inches of snow. So yeah, 1 to 3 inches of snow for much of that area. There are going to be some outliers. 2 to 4 is definitely going to be a possibility, especially into our southern counties where that, again, that heavier band of snow is starting to set up at this point. I think Saginaw south. If you get some reports of 3, 3.5, and 4, that wouldn't surprise me as where we've been for today. Now, hour by hour shows that snow chance again is moving out pretty close to what hour by hour is showing. And I think by noon, most of mid-Michigan won't see that consistent snow. It will just be isolated snow chances that want to develop. Now this is at 2 p.m. here, showing again that isolated snow chance along 127. So that could continue to add on to any lake effects or travel impacts that we may have, and we just continue to see this sort of isolated snow chance through the remainder of our afternoon into about 7 p.m. and even through tonight through midnight, still seeing a few isolated cells. So even once the most consistent snow moves out over the next couple of minutes, or next couple of hours I should say, don't be surprised if you run into more snow later today. I also want to highlight wind is going to be pretty noticeable on and off throughout the day, so blowing snow will continue to be something we'll notice. I know there's been a lot of areas that have been fighting that blowing snow. That will continue through the rest of today and probably through the rest of the week as we continue to see sort of lake effect snow chances and stronger wind. We can see in our hour by hour through Thursday morning just some light snow, but actually could see the sun at times through our Thursday morning and even our Thursday afternoon. Now temperatures across the region, If you've been outside, you probably noticed it's just a little bit nicer than the previous few days. It's lower teens to the lower 20s. A lot more areas are now starting to sort of get into the 20s compared to what we had about an hour ago. Holton Lake still sort of the outlier at 11, West Branch at 14 degrees. As you get down to the south, Standish, Gladwin, both at 20, Clare at 21, Bay City at 20, Mount Pleasant at 23, and then even a little bit farther south than that, you have teens for Saginaw into Freeland and Midland, and then back to the 20s down to the south. In terms of wind, it's been mostly from the south-southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour, but again, you could see wind gusts up to 25 to even 30. I'm not going to count that out. So that's where blowing snow definitely is a concern even after the snow stops falling over the next couple of hours. And with that combination of temperatures and wind gusts, or consistent winds I should say, feels like temperatures still on the colder side. You're still going to need to be bundled up. It is January in Michigan, but I think single digits and teens above zero, obviously a lot nicer than the teens and 20s below zero we're going to see over the next couple of days. Now quickly looking at our traffic map, just because we do have this snow and there has been slowdowns across mid-Michigan. Up to the north where you haven't had as much snow, things have been in pretty good shape. Obviously you still get some slowdowns. M30, M18, there towards Gladwin has had a few slowdowns, towards Standish. So don't be surprised. Michelle says, semi-rolled over on South 75 between M10 and Saginaw Road in Bay County. Traffic backed up. Well, we'll see that actually right here. That would be that area. So yeah, don't be surprised. You'll run into some slowdowns. I'll see if I can get more on that here in a bit. But there is quite a bit of slowdowns from Saginaw to Bay City, there on 75 and other locations. So again, this is looking to be the most consistent snow. Thank you for that report, by the way. Just be prepared to have to take different routes on your way out and about here on our Wednesday. There's just enough snow today where roads are becoming slick, and if you're just not prepared, maybe you're just going out, you might notice some of those slowdowns, some slick spots. So please be careful as you get through the remainder of today. Now we move down to Genesee County and Shiawassee and Lapeer. It's really more of the same, especially in Genesee County, where you do have those slowdowns on 75, really from all the way down south of Metro Detroit, all the way through Flint and through northern Genesee County. Obviously around Flint having some slowdowns, Shiawassee around the Wasso area, north there on M52 having some slowdowns. It does look like there's an accident there in far southwestern Shiawassee County on 69. So if you are traveling that way, you may come across some slowdowns. It's just going to be a common theme when you get these snows. 1 to 3 inches, it isn't much, but it catches people off guard. It can become slick very quickly. Now we look down towards Lansing again, just those slowdowns typical of this weather, and Metro Detroit also showing slowdowns as snow continues to fall. So please be careful if you have travel plans through the remainder of today. I do have to take a quick break. Once we come back from that break, I will be keeping you updated with the First Alert weather days that we have for Friday and Saturday, so don't go anywhere. At our high temperatures for today, you're going to be back a little bit warmer than what we've been seeing. It's upper 20s and lower 30s. so definitely going to feel nicer out there. But it's obviously still cold, still bundle up, so just be careful with that. I did want to quickly update because we did get actually our own TV5 First Alert meteorologist Matthew Monroe did send an update on that accident that was reported in our chat. Let me pull up our traffic map real quick. If I can get to the right map real quick, so I can just tell you what he's let us know here with that accident. So just some live updates here. I don't know if word's around, but I-75 southbound is looking like it's being closed at M81. There's been obviously several crashes. Again, there's been a semi-jackknife there, and it does look like there's been some cars piled up into that accident. So if you are traveling that area there, just be careful. It's not been reported on our MDOT map yet, but once that does get added in, we'll obviously keep you up to date, but most likely we will see that area there again, I-75 at M81 being closed if that obviously is starting to pile up. MDOT will have that updated here over the next few minutes most likely. But let's get back to what we're seeing for the next couple of days. Again, like I mentioned, highs for this afternoon are upper 20s to the lower 30s. Definitely a warmer day, but still got to be careful. Even with those warmer temperatures, you're still going to run into slick roads. Obviously, roads have been not in great shape over the last couple of days, so that just looks to continue. Now, if you've been paying attention, you probably noticed we have issued a First Alert weather day. Thursday actually looks to be a relatively decent day. It's going to be Friday and Saturday that we get that Arctic air really starting to push in, where wind chills will be down to 10 to 25 degrees below zero. And I do want to mention that will be all day on Friday. This isn't just a morning thing on Friday. It doesn't look like we'll have much more than 15 to 20 below zero for Friday. When we look at our feels like map, or feels like graphic here, it does show us that temperatures will be cold tomorrow morning. This is 10 a.m. on Thursday, single digits above and below zero, but that cold air really starting to filter in late Thursday, and then by the time we get to Friday, starting to see those below zero temperatures. Now, I did want to quickly, once again, show our hour by hour because, again, we do have snow falling right now, and will continue to fall here over the next couple of hours. I think by noon, though, most areas should see that consistent snow have moved out, and you'll just see some sort of isolated chances through the remainder of our Wednesday into our Thursday. But like I mentioned earlier, you may catch some sun as we get into Thursday, so don't be surprised by that. And then by the afternoon, some more isolated snow chances. Just enough that I think just be careful if you do come across them, they could create slick travel conditions as we get across. Let me see, this is 75. I'm getting updates real quick from, again, our First Alert meteorologist, Matthew Monroe, who's driving there. Yeah, just be careful. 75 northbound is definitely seeing some slowdown, seeing some closures most likely, and then southbound seeing that issue as well, north of Saginaw towards M81, so just be careful of that. But with that, I am going to end our stream for this morning. As always, you can check out our website at WNEM.com. There, go to our weather tab where you can get more updates from the First Alert weather team. You can also download our app at the First Alert weather app. You do that by scanning our QR code right here on your screen. There you can get more updates from the First Alert weather team. We'll have updates throughout the day, especially on radar and on traffic conditions. So if you have travel plans, you can check out that app. It also has live radar. That's always helpful when it comes to this type of event where maybe you can delay your travel plans just enough and go a little bit later, and you'll be able to hit the roads just a little bit safer than what we're seeing right now. And obviously, TV5 First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips, she'll be here at 2 p.m. for our afternoon live stream. She'll have more updates on the cold air that's on its way later into the week. She'll also have more updates on traffic and the snow, hopefully at that time moving its way out of mid-Michigan. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day.